Kosher, his critics, the Democratic campaigners, have been saying Vance is a weakness for Trump. I tell you what, he hasn't shown that today. In that interview and in the debate performance, has been very strong indeed. And as you said, he's gone to another stratosphere in terms of his political performance.
Yes, not only were Democrats criticizing the decision, but actually a lot of Republicans, more the establishment wing of the Republican Party, were very unhappy with that choice. And reportedly, they were lobbying Trump and people in Trump's orbit before his decision to go with a different choice. So I think Trump's decision-making power or choice in this his appointment, I think, has been vindicated today for sure with JD Vance, and also just all the media he's been doing. I think he's done 24+ interviews, and you can see why he's a very effective communicator.
Indeed, and the energy there continues in a lengthy interview off the back of the debate. And what I liked in that as well, that humanity that he shows. He said, look, I'm, the human vulnerability or whatever, however you want to describe it. He says, I was nervous. He wasn't going to launch into waltz. He just says, I was nervous and I had to do my best with the adrenaline running. But again, it shows you, James, he is an effective political communicator, and I think showed up waltz tonight.
Look, he showed up waltz completely, and I think right now in the Democrat camp, they're going to be thinking long and hard about what did we do here with this Tim Walz character? You know, they had to make their VP pick very quickly, as you will recall. You remember Josh Shapiro from Pennsylvania? He was supposed to be the guy, but I think two things got in the way there. Number one, frankly, the fact that he's Jewish was going to cause a lot of problems with certain constituencies among the Democrats around the Israel issue. And number two, Shapiro is extremely smart and articulate at the same level as JD Vance. Now, had they picked Shapiro, this would have been a much different night tonight. But now I think, JD Vance, the thing is, for him, he is now a political star in his own right, no matter what happens in November. Remember also, just one last thing, there is no more thankless task than being a Republican running mate. You know, this is the person who is historically always destroyed by the media. Trump could have picked anybody, the most anodyne person in the world, and they would have absolutely trashed him. So, I think Vance has stepped out of that legacy very well tonight. I haven't seen a debate like this, frankly, in years.
Let's just wrap up with this intervention I thought was really effective from the Republican vice presidential candidate. It was on the policy of housing, but it went back to a theme that he referred to a number of times throughout the debate.
The most important thing here is Kamala Harris is not running as a newcomer to politics. She is the sitting vice president. If she wants to enact all of these policies to make housing more affordable, I invite her to use the office that the American people already gave her, not sit around and campaign and do nothing while Americans find the American dream of homeownership completely unaffordable.
Kosher, Vance did that a number of times, really effective. I was so surprised Donald Trump only did it in his closing remarks in the debate that he lost to Harris. Today, Vance turned the table on that issue and used it as he should have.
Yeah, that's another issue where I think he corrected one of the points of frustration that a lot of Trump supporters had for that missed opportunity in that debate. And I think, the whole way that this went about, where they pushed Biden out, she was anointed with no competitive process and rapid speed, and then is trying to hoodwink the American people into being the change candidate, because that's what the country wants right now, the change candidate who's changing the direction of leadership and the course of the country. She's trying to suggest that that's who she is, even though she literally is the sitting vice president right now. And so it is a very important point to just remind everybody of. We know that, but it runs counter to how the media, very friendly media to the Kamala ticket, has helped her in kind of positioning herself as somebody who's going to come in on day one and change things. It's important to remind everybody that she's there right now, especially when the president is non compos mentis on his beach. So she actually really has a lot of power. And so anything that she says kind of rings hollow because she is able to do it right now and she isn't. And he was very effective in bringing that up.